Hello and welcome to Core Finance, and Matt Brown is with me here in the studio, and we're going to talk about the market open today.
Yes, indeed.
And the market mover. Let's have a little look at the first headline. We've got UK inflation in focus, dollar strength, and Netflix impresses.
Yeah,
tell me more.
A few moving parts. I mean, starting off with the CPI data this morning, out at 3%, the best in 5 years. We were talking off air. Well, Mark Carney, the only head of a central bank that has good reason now to raise rates, and look, I mean that strengthens his hand. It strengthened the pound on the back of it. However, overnight we did see a bit of dollar strength, and this was coming from Donald Trump meeting John Taylor, who's an economist at Stanford University. He's seen as a hawk for the head of the
Federal Reserve.
The Federal Reserve. Yeah. Sorry, thank you for Colin.
My goodness, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, he's seen as a hawk. Donald Trump likes him. The market seemed to like that, and that put a bid under the dollar.
I think he's a good guy, so yeah.
Yeah, hopefully, he can pick up where Yellen left off. And Netflix as well posted numbers after hours, some strong subscriber numbers there. So the likes of ITV, etc., will be looking over their shoulder at how that is developed. And we talked about ITV on the show yesterday. But we've got some stocks as well to look at.
So the FTSE one to watch is Merlin Entertainment. Tell me what's going on there.
Not a good day in the office for Merlin Entertainment. They're down 20% this morning. Pretty much profit warning. Like-for-like sales are flat. They're citing weather and terrorism in Europe on the back of this strong pound as well. Generally, the revenues actually have been up slightly, but it's really just the like-for-likes being flat that has caused this 20% sell-off. They are looking forward, though, opening Legoland in New York in 2020. That should be a positive for them. And they've also got a sign up with Peppa Pig Entertainment One, who own the rights to it, to have exclusive rights to have Peppa Pig Worlds, etc. Whether that product has run its course, we'll see. But not a good day for Merlin. 20% sell off, a little bit of an overkill. Maybe see a dead cat bounce tomorrow or the following day. Look out for that.
Yeah, that sounds like it needs to clear that stock if it's down 20 today.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, a lot of false sellers.
The AIM one to watch, we've got ASOS.
Yes, as seen on screen, it's still in the AIM and an AIM darling. Look, it's performing extremely well. We're seeing pre-tax profits up 145%. They expect sales growth to be up 25 to 30% on the year. It is a fantastic stock. It's going from strength to strength. However, you've got to look at the likes of Next. You've got to look at Topshop. They're obviously aware that they don't want to be just bricks and mortars retailers. So they will probably start to eat into ASOS's share of the market. But in the meantime, a great stock. And if you've been a holder of this stock, you've performed, or your portfolio has done very well over the recent years.
I'll certainly want to watch that.
Yeah, indeed.
The
pound, yeah, indeed, the pound. Well, look, we've had a bit of an uplift on the back of the strong inflation data out. Today, we're looking ahead at other macro points, data points coming out later in the week, namely retail sales. Look out for that. And euro sterling, actually, these two pairs are pretty much where they were yesterday, so a bit of a roller coaster up and down. But euro sterling's going to be in focus with the EU summit going on. May and Juncker last night, I'm sure they had a very nice meal, but nothing really came from that with regards to agreements and trade agreements moving forward on Brexit.
No, indeed, and we watch that space.
Indeed.
More dominate. So moving on, the broker updates. We've got Standard Life Aberdeen, or is it Aberdeen Standard? I was talking to someone this morning who said they've decided on that as the name. Alliance Bernstein, a downgrade from outperform to market perform. What's the story there?
Yeah, well, in old money, that's buy to hold.
Yeah.
Basically, they're looking at it saying, look, Standard Life, Aberdeen, it's two companies that have merged together. Two drunks walking down a road does not necessarily mean they walk in a straight line. And there's a lot of headwinds for the asset management industry. You're looking at MiFID II, you're looking at management fees, and also headwinds from the likes of BlackRock, these passive funds and robo-advisors. And this is a real space that is going to change over the coming years, and it's a question of really the cost saving that Standard Life Aberdeen now need to do. Does that mean job cuts, infrastructure changes? But as a stock to hold as a future in the investment management industry, maybe as Bernstein are saying, have it as a hold, but not a buy recommendation at the moment.
Well, please, Martin Gilbert.
Understood. Sorry, Martin.
Core number of the day, £260. What's that?
£260. Well, there's been a research paper saying that this is how much it will cost the average British household if a trade deal isn't done with Europe. Now, obviously, that's going to fluctuate with inflation, with currency, so maybe they've just picked a number out of the air, or the spreadsheet says £260. But it shows that they're starting to, or people are starting to try and actually put a value on how much this will cost the average household in the UK. Not positive, and certainly it's more worrying because when we're talking about imports, the likes of dairy, vegetables, etc., clothing, this will affect the lower income families. So the lower down the income curve you go, you will see a greater cost potentially if a trade deal isn't done. The flip side is we would be better off maybe not doing a deal, getting on with getting trade deals with other parts of the world and moving forward on this. What do you
Well, I must admit, I read a leader in the Telegraph yesterday from Roger Bootle saying just that Jean-Claude Juncker might turn out to be our best friend.
Fantastic.
We shall see. The economic calendar for the week. So what have we got? We've got, today actually, I beg your pardon. We've got the Consumer Price Index from the EU at 11. Carney speaking 11:15, industrial production at 2:15 in the afternoon, and the NAHB Housing Market Index from the US at 3. Anything major to look for in all of that?
Yeah, look out for the European CPI data, certainly for Euro traders, that could be a key. Mark Carney speaking, I guess he'll be quite chipper on the back of the inflation data out this morning. Industrial production, certainly from the US, and the housing market index as well is one to watch. If certainly you're a dollar trader, that could have a little move.
Do you think any of the hurricane effects will have fed through into the housing market index there?
Potentially, but not quite yet.
Yeah,
not quite
so
yet.
still
But
a bit early.
we'll look out for that as it comes out.
Thank you very much.